Netflix is soon to launch a Tour de France documentary, I believe it is, called Unchained. They've already commissioned it for a second season, which means that they're basically saying that it's going to be a banger. And the first one hasn't even aired yet. It comes out on June 8th, which is that's quite clever, isn't it? That's like that's basically the couple of weeks before the tour starts, when people are starting to get a bit of fever for it, and you get a highlight of the previous year or whenever it was filmed. Mm-hmm. What do you know about this series? Because I don't know that much about it.
They follow a few teams. So there was camera crews following a few different bike teams during last year's Tour de France. So like Jumbo-Visma, UAE maybe. I think they had, they were following the teams that had chances at stage wins and the overall classification.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it. I used to watch pro cycling. It's why I got into bike racing. And around that time when I was, racing it every week and watching it all the time, and it was brilliant. And I've sort of lost track of it now, just because I'm doing other stuff. If this is done well, like Drive to Survive, which is the F1 Netflix series that is being really popular, if it's done in that style and it's about bikes, I'm in.
Have you watched the F1 one?
The first episode, yes.
Why only the first episode? Because you got bored of it?
I didn't have time. No, I didn't get bored of it. It was really good. And I know it takes a few episodes to get into, because F1, I don't know anything about F1, and there's a lot to learn.
F1's great.
Yeah. I could
come back around.
I could get into it.
It used to be great in the 90s. I used to watch it all the time with my grandfather. Then I grew up and got bored of it, and it got boring. But it's exciting again.
Racing is racing. It should work. The format should work for this. And there's loads of good personalities. And I know for a fact, I didn't watch the Tour de France last year, but I caught some of the highlights and some of the news, and I know it was crazy.
Probably people don't expect this of me, but I do not have any interest in pro cycling whatsoever. I couldn't even tell you who won the Tour last year. Mm-hmm. Who did win the Tour last year? Christopher...
I've forgotten his name.
Bradley Wiggins.
Yeah, lovely.
I literally... This goes to show how little we watch pro cycling. Vingegaard, his name is...
No idea who that is. Never heard of him.
So it's like Pocaccia and Vingegaard, and they would have a head-to-head, and it was very, very close and very exciting.
I've heard of
from the
Pocaccia.
News.
He's young, isn't he?
Yeah.
He won the last year.
Yeah, super young with a little tuft coming out of his helmet. Yeah. But there's also, even in the individual stages, there was some really cool stuff going on. So this documentary, if done correctly with loads of money from Netflix, could bring me back into watching pro cycling, and I would like that to happen.
So I've watched...
be obsessed with it and have something to watch.
I'm not much of a sports fan in terms of watching it. I do like watching some sports, just I'm not like hardcore into it. Mm-hmm. I have watched the football equivalent of a series that follows Sunderland for an entire season, Sunderland Football Club.
I've been there.
Another one which follows Man City, and another one which follows Wrexham, now owned by Ryan Reynolds, famously. And
weird, what's that all about? Sorry, carry on.
Money.
We'll talk about Ryan Reynolds in a minute.
And those series are amazing. I really enjoyed them.
Cool.
Which makes me think, assuming that they make this to the same scale, exactly like you're saying, I actually am quite looking forward to this.
Yeah, anything could be, if it's done well, anything like video documentary wise could be on could be on any topic, and if it's done well enough, it will get viewers. So I don't know, this could be fantastic if it becomes as popular as Drive to Survive. Unlikely, but even if it has half the success of that, it's going to be brilliant for more people getting into cycling, I hope, and therefore make cycling outside nicer, because people will be like, oh, it's that thing.
Yeah.
From Netflix.
Have you done much riding in France?
Yeah, loads.
What I love about riding in France is all of the French are madly in love with cycling.
Yeah, so they beep you out. It's friendly beeps rather than nasty ones.
They'll literally be like shouting "allez" out the window whilst they're like blasting past you with loads of space. They'll never buzz past you, and it's like
all over Europe is that, isn't it? It's great.
Actually, yeah, it is, isn't it? And it's such a nice. It makes me happy when that happens, and I wish it was like that in this country. So if programs like this can help that change happen, give it a chance of being a bit more mainstream and being people going like, actually cycling is kind of cool, then
Brilliant.
more of it, please.
Yes, please.